What's going on, everybody? What I want to do today is show you 20 words or phrases that I've been using over the last 5 days to hack flow more consistently. And where I got this exercise from is a book from Frederick Dotson. The book is called The Miracles of Attention. And basically, one of the chapters was called Hacking Happiness, where basically he gives you an exercise. And what he wants you to do is actually train yourself to be happy. Because one of the things he said is a lot of the problems that we have is we have to rely on outside events to happen in order for us to experience some type of happiness on the inside. Where instead he said, why not try to just experience happiness by training it? Almost as if you're an actor and you're trying to hack into a state. And one of the exercises was he basically named a couple of different words that are similar to happiness, and he wants you to go into that state almost immediately. Train yourself to go into the state. So he gave a bunch of different words that actually mean happiness, but they felt slightly different. So basically, the word happiness, we all know what happiness feels like, but then he goes, what about bliss? What about ecstasy? What about joy? What about enthusiasm? What about laughter? And basically what he says to do is just sit there and for a minute each, just experience what that feels like in your body. Because what we have to do is retrain our brain and our nervous system to experience these feelings. That way, these states don't just happen by accident, they happen on command. So while I was reading this, because I'm obsessed with the flow state, I said, why not do the exact same thing and see what happens? And I've been doing it over the last 5 days. And what I've experienced is more ease, more calm, more relaxation, more energy. I feel more excited. I feel like I'm talking a little bit better. I feel more concentrated. I have more focus. I feel more absorbed. I also feel like everything I'm doing is a little bit more effortless. And for me, this is very, very important because usually I'm a highly stressed person. I'm always on the go. I'm always on the move. I'm always rushing. So, because I've been taking the time out to do this exercise, I feel a lot more in flow. And what I would like to do is share this with you. And I'm going to share 20 words with you. And I just want you to sit down and just experience what these words and phrases actually feel like. So, let's sit up straight or stand. And the first thing I want you to do is just pick an object directly in front of you and just stare at it. So for me, it's the camera. And just notice what you're noticing. Notice the object in front of you. Notice what you're seeing. Does the object feel separate from you? Or do you feel like you're more in tune with the object? Because one of the things flow is absorbed attention. Now from here, take your eyes off the object and just notice the space in the room that you're in. And what I mean by that is notice how the room, for the most part, is made of empty space. From here, notice the space between your head and the ceiling. So you can look up in a way and just notice the space. Now, usually what prevents flow is a lot of times we're very, very dense. We're very, very stuck in our head. And thinking creates density, where flow is more flowy, more space, more expansion. So just notice the space between your head and the ceiling. From here, start to notice the sounds in the room. Notice what sound you hear. And for me, my girlfriend's in the shower right now, so I can hear the shower water. From here, notice the space between your upper lip and your nose. From here, raise one of your hands up and notice the space between your thumb and your index finger. So don't notice your thumb and index finger, notice the space in between. And this is the easiest way, believe it or not, to relax any type of tension, is to take your attention outward and notice the space. From here, notice the space in between your ears. Don't try to think about it, just feel it. From here, notice the space in your body. So yes, in our body, we have a bunch of organs and cells, but realize that majority of your body is empty space. Realize that an atom, 99% of it is just made of empty space. So just see if you could feel into your body and notice the empty space in it. Notice the empty space in your mouth. Notice the empty space in between your throat. Notice the empty space inside your ears. Notice the space in between your teeth. And you might notice right now you're starting to get into a more flow-like state. Maybe you feel more relaxed, more at ease, more at peace, less thinking, more absorbed in the moment. You feel present. Maybe you feel like you're more in the zone. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say the words to you. And as I say the words to you, just feel what that feels like. So you could either imagine a time you felt this, or you could create an imaginary scenario in the future, or you could just feel into the body right now. So the first word is absorbed. What does it feel like to be absorbed in the moment? How are you breathing? Is your tension on the inside of your body, or is it on the outside? Do you feel more relaxed? Or do you feel like you're more high energy? Just notice the difference. What sensations is absorption creating? Absorbed. Be absorbed in the moment. The next word is engagement. What does it feel like to be engaged? Notice how it feels a little bit different than absorbed. For me personally, when I'm absorbed, I feel like I'm being pulled in to something. Engagement feels like I'm pushing, I'm going towards. So notice the difference between absorption and engagement. How are you breathing with engagement? What sensations is it creating in the body? The third word, concentration. What does it feel like to be highly concentrated when you're really, really concentrating on something? How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating on the body? What does your body feel like doing? The next word, focus. What does it feel like when you're focused? How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating in the body? Notice the difference between concentration and focus. Feels very similar, but yet slightly different. The fifth word, it's more of a phrase. In the zone. What does it feel like to be in the zone? How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating in the body? Like for me, when I'm in the zone, I feel like I'm more bopping my head. I'm more in the groove. I feel lighter, yet explosive. In the zone. The sixth word or phrase, in the moment. What does it feel like to be in the moment? How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating in the body? And notice the difference between in the zone and in the moment. For me, in the zone feels more narrow, a little bit more tense, tight, direct, where in the moment feels more open. The seventh word is merge. What does it feel like when you merge with what you're doing? When was the time you felt merged with it, with an experience? Maybe you noticed the sunset and you kind of merged with it before. You felt like you was one with it. How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating in the body? The eighth word is inspiration or inspired. What does it feel like? How are you breathing? What sensations is inspiration creating in the body? When was the last time you was really inspired? What did that feel like? Notice the sensations it's creating in the face, in your neck, in your chest, in your legs. Inspiration. The ninth word, Mental clarity or clear headed. What does that feel like to be clear headed or to have mental clarity? How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating more particularly in your head? Maybe your head feels a little bit more open, more relaxed, more expansive. The 10th word is present. What does it feel like to be present? It might be very, very similar to absorbed, but notice the difference between presence and absorb. See if you could go back and forth in between the two. Presence, absorbed. Notice how you breathe in. The 11th word is, or phrase is, unconsciously competent. What does it feel like to be unconsciously competent? Like you just know what you're doing. You don't have to think about what you're doing. You're just doing it automatically. Unconsciously competent or automatic. What does it feel like to be automatic? You just automatically know how to do it. The 12th word is effortless. What does it feel like? Effortless. Notice how you're breathing. Notice the sensations the word effortless creates in the body. The 13th word is synchronicity. Synchronicity. Feeling like you are where you're supposed to be. What does it feel like when you are where you're just supposed to be? Where like the universe or God just has your back. Things just seem to line up. Everything just seems to be happening in your favor. What does that feel like? How do you breathe when you know things are just going to work out? That you're just going to win? The 14th word is peak performance. Performance. Peak performance. What does that feel like when you're performing at your peak, when you're performing at your best? Things just feel smooth. Everything just works out for you. How does your face feel? How does your neck feel? How does your hands feel when you're performing at your best? The 15th word is timelessness. What does it feel like? Timelessness. Maybe things just start to slow down. Or maybe things speed up. When I say the word timelessness, how are you breathing? What sensations is it creating in the body? The 16th word, fluidity. What does that feel like? How does your muscles feel when you feel like you're fluid? How are you breathing? What sensations is it creating in the body? How does your neck feel? More than likely, your shoulders feel like they're away from your ears. Your neck feels high. Your body feels loose. Fluidity. The 17th word is instinct. What does it feel like when you just act on instinct, when you just know what to do instinctively? It's probably a little bit sharp, more direct, more hard, more explosive, more automatic. What does it feel like? Instinct. What sensations is it creating in the body? How are you breathing? The 18th word is harmony. What does that feel like in the body? Harmony. Everything just seems like it's working together. It's in the right tune. Everything again is just working out for you. You're in groove. You're in motion. Harmony. The 19th word, trance. What does that feel like to be in a trance? To be in a trance of flow. Things probably just feel smooth. Things maybe slow down. Things start to get a little narrow. Things move in slow motion. You feel relaxed and at ease, at peace, trance. And the 20th word is creative. What does it feel like to be creative in your body? How are you breathing? What sensation is it creating in your body? Probably feels a little bit more circular. You're moving just smoother, more fluid again. And when you're ready, just come out of it and notice the difference in the way you feel right now. So for me, I feel a little bit more relaxed, more at ease just saying the words. And I've been doing this every day for the last 5 days. And I spend usually about a minute on each word. And basically what I did here was basically I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you give me 20 words that are similar to flow? So it doesn't have to be those exact words. So I chose those 20 words off of ChatGPT. But you could come up with your own words. Choose 20 words. Like if you want to get into flow more consistently, realize that flow feels differently in everything you do. So you might be in the flow when you're doing the dishes, but it might be a little bit different when you're in flow doing your work or when you're in flow playing a sport. So what's great about having 20 different words that all kind of mean flow, you get to experience all of it and you get to take it and you're more adaptable. So you're not just experiencing flow in your one thing. Because a lot of times we only experience flow in one thing. So for some, guys might just be when they're playing video games, they get into flow. But then when they go out and talk to girls, they can't get into flow while talking. So what's good about having 20 different words that all mean flow, you can adapt it to each situation. So hopefully you enjoyed this little exercise. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, please like. Please share with a friend. And also, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now. Peace.